G'day folks, Rod from Water Filter here today, and just going to spend a couple of minutes with you and just give you a little bit of a hand on how the rainwater filter systems go together with ultraviolet light. Okay, so it's pretty easy, and we'll just explain a few things about it. When you get it, lay it out on the table, have a look at it, and any dramas, talk to us, but it is pretty easy, and as long as a competent person's available, then you shouldn't have too many worries. Okay, so it's a two-stage process, and I like to treat it in a couple of different stages. We do the water first, no electricity involved, and then after that we'll look at the electricity side of it. Once we've turned the water on and the pump's been switched on and off, the tap's turned on and off, and we know we've got no leaks and it's all nicely sealed up, and then we'll apply the electricity. Okay, so basically this is the water filter itself. As you can see, it's second to none. It's just an absolute ripper of a system, solid as a rock. So water's incoming here on the this side, and it's a 1-inch BSP thread. So if you want to take it down to 3/4 inch, it's just a simple bush to screw it down to 3/4, and the water comes in here. This one here is the Pleated sediment filter cartridge, and obviously that goes over here in position number 1, and that'll take the lumps and bumps out the water. It is pleated, so if at any stage you thought that you were losing a little bit of pressure in the house, etc., you can simply turn the water off, remove this housing and remove the cartridge. Just be gentle with it, not using a pressure cleaner or anything crazy. Just give it a nice gentle hose off and get as much garbage and sediment as scum off it as you can. Put it back in, it should fire up and it'll go again. With the pleats in there, it gives them a lot of surface area. They can hold a lot of contamination, and that's why we use them, to give you guys the best shot that we can. Okay? After the water flows out of that side of the system, it flows into the second housing here, all right, and that's where we've got the silver impregnated carbon block cartridge, all right, and having the silver in there stops any bacteria growth in the cartridge, etc. They are available in a plain style if you like, but because the water's untreated, that's what we use in that situation. Once again, just to give you our best shot. Okay, they're not really washable, but they're well protected by this first cartridge. Normally you'll give those a change annually, every 12 months, something like that anyway. Exactly the same thing, 1-inch BSP thread in the top. Can screw a 3/4 inch reducer or etc. into that you desire, and that's very simple. Couple of gauges on the top, give you an idea what pressure's pushing on the system and how it's travelling. Okay, so pretty much you get hold of your system, 2 tech screws in the top, bang them into the wall or the frame or whatever you're going to attach it to, and there you'll have it. The system will be sitting up there like that. Comes complete with the housing tool to be in your box, etc., to take the cartridge housings off and that sort of thing. So we're pretty good to go there. All right. Once eventually you do turn the water on, a couple of red valves on the top there that you can press and help let the air out and that sort of thing, and also bleed a bit of pressure off at times. So I think we're good to go there. It is fairly simple. The filter system and housing does all the work. All you got to do is ensure that you connect it up properly. I guess one thing that I might suggest at this point of time is on the incoming side here, I would put a on-off tap so you can shut the water off right here at the filter, and also after the system, after the UV, we'd have a second on-off tap so you can completely isolate the system as required if you ever want to change a cartridge or change the globe or whatever it may be. Okay, so pretty happy there. I'm just going to move these out of the road and give us a little bit of room here now. And then the second component obviously is the UV light. All right, so we'll just take the chamber out first, and as you can see, it's a beauty. Threads on each side. Now the situation here with this one is, this can pretty much be mounted however you'd like it to go. All right, but the secret is wherever you mount it, it's about 890 long, I think. So if you mount it horizontal like this, when you go to change the globe, you'll screw the cap off the end, you go to take the globe out, you're going to need another 890, probably 1 metre. So just make sure you're going to allow a metre of clearance on whatever end you're going to be able to change the globe on, all right? If it goes vertical, that's not a problem either. Just ensure that we are sliding the globe in from the top, okay? So the bottom will stay sealed up there, all right? So once again, let's suggest that we're just going to mount it here, all right? Water will come out of the system, and 1-inch BSP threads on either end, and we're just going to put the water in one end, and then we'll flow the water out the other end, and it's going to go into the home, the business, or whatever it is that you might be using it for, okay? So that's just simple pipe work. In the system, there's a couple of brackets that you hold it on with. Once again, 2 screws. You'll just zip those into the wall, pick up the UV and just push it straight into these clips, and that's going to hold it in place, all right? Once it's held in place, inside the system here, you've got a glass and the globe, okay? So what we're looking for first is the glass. Okay. In the bag here, you'll see there's a couple of O-rings. Okay. And on the end of the cylinder, this end here is the end that we're going to slide it in and out of. It's the end where the earth is. It's the end where the power is going to go on. Okay? So we simply get the glass and we slide it all the way down through the centre of the chamber. We slide the O-ring on the glass from either end, and then we screw the nuts up again. Exactly the same on this end. Okay? When you do them up, you tighten them up as tight as you can by hand, all right? You shouldn't need to use a spanner. We don't want to crack the glass, but you just tighten them up as tight as you can by hand and get them as tight as you can, okay? Now once that glass is inside and it's all tightened up, that system can be turned on. We can get the water flowing. Turn it on and off like I said before. Make sure there's no water leaks, nothing at all. We're all happy and good to go, all right? Once we've achieved that, then we can say, all right, stage 2, and we're going to look at the electrical side of it, all right? When we do the electricity, here's the second part, and this is our UV globe, all right? When you first get your system, just get the UV globe, get the electrical ballast, which is only a normal 3-pin plug. On this end here, we've got the pins. And what we do is we get the glass, pull it out of here, we slide the globe inside the glass, inside the tube. Okay, just goes straight down the middle. I'll pull it out. Okay. That glass will get slid down the inside of the glass tube. And then on this end here, there's a simple plug. It's going to push on the end. You've got your earth wire. You can see the little nut there. The earth wire just locks onto that nut. All right? Wherever you've got it situated, this is the electrical box, and it's not waterproof, all right? This chamber is, but this box and electrical component is not. So we've got to keep it dry. It needs to be mounted in a shed or have a good cover over it or something like that. Now when this is connected up together, I'm just going to undo it. Just got to take a bit of a thought about water and condensation, okay? because it can have an effect on these systems. Alright, now this is connected into our UV globe. What we don't want to see is the wire running like that or right up in the air like that. Condensation will get onto this and it'll run down. Happen every day. The water will leak through the rubber, it'll get into the end here, it'll arc the light out and the whole lot's going to stop, okay? So regardless of whatever position you decide to mount it in, wire's got to come out and come down. It can loop down and then up again. It can do whatever shape or fancy you hang however you like. But it's got to come out of the end of the light and it's got to loop down so any condensation comes down and the condensation will drip off the bottom of the power cord, okay? Looking at the other end, once that's connected up, it's just a 3-pin plug. These globes are susceptible to power surges. Once you turn it on and you're using it, it can stay on for as long as it needs to. They'll just stay on the whole year. They're good for 9,000 hours, so they're good for 1 year. When you go to plug it into the power point, what you really need to do is have some form of RCD, a trip meter. It can be just a power pack with a little red button on it or a computer one that plugs in, 3-pin plugs in, but just some form of trip meter that just stops the globes from blowing because they are susceptible to blow, okay? So once you've plugged it in there, turn it on, just check it out, make sure it's all working okay, the light's lit up, and she's pretty much good to go. The globe's going to run for 12 months, 9,000 hours, and after that point of time the globe will still stay on, so don't get caught out. It's lost its killing capacity of the bugs. Alright, now couple of little tips that we'll just quickly run through, alright, and that's why I've left it apart for you so we can just have a bit of a look here, is the globe every 12 months, 9,000 hours. When you change the globe, this is the glass tube. This glass tube has got to be clean, alright? It's a waste of time having a good globe inside a dirty tube, alright? Because the globe just cannot penetrate the light through the glass and into the chamber if this is all dirty. Sometimes I see people, I've heard, using these with bore water and a lot of calcium in the water. So it's all calcified and white. It's a waste of time, it's just not working. So you just got to keep an eye on this and make sure that it's clean. So when you change your globe at a minimum, just pull this glass out and give it a wipe over and make sure it's nice and clean. If you've got real bad water, feel free, they're not very expensive, 40 bucks or 50 bucks. Get a new globe, glass, and give it a good clean or replace it as required. Okay? But they are fairly basic, they're very easy to use, and once you start having a bit of a play with it, you'll see that there's not too much to it at all. Alright? The other thing I might just mention to you, you'll see the sticker on the front of the filter housings. It'll tell you how many kilopascals that the system's good for. Please take a look at it and adhere it to it. Have a look at your pump. Once again, it's basic stuff. Like, they're good for 70 PSI. They're good quality products. But if you haven't got that, make sure you put a pressure limiting valve on before the system, just so you don't go blowing everything up, anything like that. If you go away on holidays, feel free to turn the system off. It's not going to hurt it. It'll be working fine. When you come back from holidays or when you turn it on, whenever you turn a UV globe on, it takes time to warm up as it goes through the different stages. So don't think that you can just turn your globe on and off whenever you want to turn the tap on and off, or don't think that you can just turn the globe on, oh yeah, she's good to go, and then I just start using the water straight away. Give it even 15 minutes to warm up and get the globe up to its full working capacity, and then once you've achieved that, let's start running some water through it and we're good to go. Okay, so I hope that just helps you out a little bit in installing it, and you should be have some good clean bacteria free water. Thank you very much.